Um, that's a schedule. Oh, look at that. Tasks. Lots of tasks. Lots of tasks. I imagine this back and forth process that we do for the producers. For them, I think it's sort of like explaining a sandwich to a jar of butterflies. For the artist, the process is more like you're a child and you've been given puppies, a litter of 5 puppies that you've named, and you love them. And your dad hands you a gun and says, you can keep 3. So, again, crates. Ever since Crash Bandicoot, I've been obsessed with crates, and they're like green being poisonous in a game. You have to have crates, and these are ours. They're very fancy crates. They're so fancy, I wish I had one of these at home. They're our nicest crates. I love them. Exterior stuff, we did a bunch of weapons. You guys have all clicked on these now many times to satisfy a quest. Early on, we're doing lots of exterior stuff because that's where the designers are working, and they need, as they're building up the environment, they need to put things out there. They need to fill out the areas, walls, that training gear. That's all very useful because they can get a lot of reuse out of it. We thought of the art direction for the pandas. We broke it down into three basic sort of classes. We have the city bears, which would be the more concrete, sculpted stuff, a little more uptown. We have the country bears, and that would be more rustic. There'll be like the breweries, the farms. And then we have the universal bear, which would be anything. That just sounds kind of cool, though, universal bear. This would be stuff you could use anywhere. So, obviously, banners. This is very sad, though, by the way. These banners are so awesome that now we have to redo all the banners in the entire game because these are the best banners we've ever had. Turn you. So how the props help describe the Pandaren. The props should, if they're doing their job right, you should walk by them and kind of get a sense for who owns them or what they're all about. So we made lots of shrines. This speaks to their spirituality. The interior's very cozy. They like to curl up with a good book. They've got their pots and pans and their neat circular thing based on hibernation. Tools. The tools are simple, work the land tools. There's no machinery. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you and I. And barrels. More barrels than any other race in the game, I think. This is called over-delivery. So an observation, when I'm looking through these, we use this little red motif on the, a lot of the objects to show this is owned by pandas. And the more I looked at these, I thought, you know, those look like guys. Like, they've got, it's a guy with a bandana on it. And so I put funny eyes on them. They're totally guys. They're like a team. Just something I noticed. Books. Lots and lots of books. This speaks to their knowledge. They're seeking knowledge, remembering it, reading it, writing it. They're monks. They've got the tables where they're recording things. We have lots of this stuff. And what's really neat about this is the text, all the characters. We had to make a language that would be cohesive through everything. It would be convincing when you looked at it. And we made a whole language that has characters with their meanings associated with them. So when you go through Pandaria, if you have the time and wherewithal and a chart like this, you can actually translate the scrolls that are hanging in the temples. This one, which you probably clicked on yesterday, what it actually says is, for in the flow, or in the true heart of the Pandaren, the flow of peace speaks like the wings of many birds, and upon those wings are carried the feathers of 1,000 dreams. Actually, that's crap. I made that up, but what I did do is I took that chart that one of the artists made, and then I, for this presentation, translated that scroll for real. Does anybody want to hear what it really says? This is a big secret. Here it goes. Travel, teacher, village, wind. Family, stranger. Me, city, wind. Instruction, city, wind. Go, teacher, go. Visitor, me, wind. Travel, building, wind. Stranger, me, city. Go away, teacher. Village, wind. Teacher. So now we'll play level designer or 8-year-old. Any guesses? That is an 8-year-old. That's my son. His sister wants you to know that she helped tape the backpack onto him and made the fire. So if you leave an 8-year-old alone long enough, they often will make things in the kitchen, wherever. Sometimes they make their own toys, which are pretty awesome. Level designers are a lot like this. And they are also awesome, and when they're waiting for us to give them stuff, they've got nothing to play with, no Legos to build, or no mega blocks to build their things with. And they are both always busy. They often live in their own world. These are the similarities. And when bored, they make their own. So when we go and we walk through the world to check and see how the props are being used, we often see stuff like this. What the hell is that? What? And then we just stare at it like, did you make, what? Where did that come from? This is a shrine made from a shrine and a colander and a pear and a banana. They needed it. And this, why? I didn't see a task come through for this thing, but they apparently needed a fell reaver made from a barber shop and a goblin shredder and a mailbox. Believe it or not, this was inspired by the Pandaren mailbox. I talked to the designer, and it's in there, and somehow it made him think, we need to do this with that mailbox. There. We need crane statues for the crane area. This is made from items you can find around your home. And I don't even need to explain this. I can't even figure out what half of this stuff is, but I think there's a bathtub in there and a trophy. And my favorite, the Pandaren hover tank, made from a frying pan, a door, a still, some barrels, and now the animated props, which I'm going to leave you with. And this has not the weepy Chinese violins, but Dark Moon Fair music.
Thanks, everybody. I think we've actually went way over, so I think we're out of time.
You're welcome.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you.
Craft art panel. Members